superstar wide receiver. He got to the century mark in receiving last week with a pair of scores.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We are all set to go, as it'll be the Dragons of Albuquerque taking on the Snowhawks of Anchorage. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the response.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Sheds off the tackle. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. They're going to look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
And part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dragons use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 63 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Looking to throw. It's caught inside the 25. Give him 32 on the play.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Snowhawks are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. But you look at this defense. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding it.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Back to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 16-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run this one in. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And his guys have taken the lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. They'll set up a throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And his throw here's incomplete. When you look at this defense, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And the big difference in the game? Their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? And out across midfield, down to the 45. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. A handoff as they run the counter play. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
14, Snowhawks 7.
Second quarter down, it's our home team with possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They're going option play on 3rd down. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Albuquerque offense readying to take over once again. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Back to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook. They can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
3rd and 19.
Brings up 3rd down.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 19-yard line.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. From the 25, here's a 2nd and 4. They'll set up to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That one, a first down pickup of 8. They'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. I call it no gain there on the first down play. Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 3rd and 3. On play action, they'll throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 17-yard line.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Right back to him on first down. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 28-yard line.
Now back to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Albuquerque offense readying to take over once again. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And as a result, possession switches hands. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. 2nd down and a yard. They'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll be well short of a 1st down as he's stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. That's taken at around the 40. The Albuquerque offense out to take over now. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there and a 1st down. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he's going to have a 1st down here. They're also into field goal range at the 28.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Back out comes this offense now late in this 1st half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. And he will find his man on the outside. Here's a 2nd and 8.
30-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second.
Looking to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline the hold, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. And they bring their punter out there now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On second down, they'll run it here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half. And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 82 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
This will be caught just inside the 10. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll bring up a second and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Holding offense.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another second and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. He picks up 7 yards there, but they're still faced with a difficult third and goal here.
It's now third and goal.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
This taken in at the goal line. The Albuquerque offense readying to take over once again. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 43-yard line.
Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd and 6. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 117 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? Already had what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
Slot man moves right. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And ultimately, this won't go for much. Maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal. 2nd down and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Here now a 3rd down and 8.
A loss of 1. Brings up 3rd and 8.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. The Albuquerque offense out to take over now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back, because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Bust through the tackle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Holding offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12. They'll set up a throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's get this down to the 35-yard line. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd and 5. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. They'll try to run this one in. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. They'll set up to throw, and it's caught. So no gain on the play, and now we've got a 3rd and goal situation.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And his kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. His throw incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. The Albuquerque offense out to take over now. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. The offense on third down, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Now back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now a play fake here on first down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Touchdown! From 8 yards out. And the Dragons are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Snowhawks 13.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2.
Second and 2.
And the slot man goes in motion left. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see. I don't understand what he's upset about. I think it was the correct call.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw again.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
A quick throw complete into the flat out left. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. A 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And he is going to have a 1st down here, and that should be the one that seals a victory. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Albuquerque,